Hello everybody, it's me, the Lone Waffle, and today we got a very special KSP video. We're recreating the Opportunity Rover mission to Mars in response to the Opportunity Rover dying this February the 14th, or being pronounced dead by NASA. And there you can see I've got the cheats menu up, making sure none of them are engaged because I never know. Very sad, that was actually the rover that discovered water on Mars in the first place. Its solar panels were covered by dust, by a Martian dust storm, and it's right before the Martian winter when it would need as much sunlight as possible to store up and keep its electronics warm during that period. But we have not been able to contact it, and things are not looking good for the little guy. So, Opportunity Rover, we will miss you. You were great. You were awesome, actually. And I'm going to do this video in your honor. So, a lot of people are sending postcards to it. This is my postcard. So I hope you guys enjoy. This will be the first, professional Kerbal Space Program video. You're like, what the hell is a professional space program video? Just look up Matt Lown or Stratton Blitz 75, who I've recently discovered, and who freaking rocks because all of his stuff is just the coolest. As you can see there's a cool shot of the moon dipping as we prepare to fire our second time to get into a fairly low Kerbal orbit. So I feel like I should take a moment and talk about the rocket, because I've got a few mods and I'm firing those 3 on each quarter vernier or verter engines, not verniers, because those were indispensable in trying to get this thing up. Just tilted during flight. There you can see executing that final burn, and we do not want to leave this stage in orbit, even though there's plenty of fuel. We probably could have used it, but we have just oodles of fuel for this mission. So there's the other stage. We got it slowed down now. And so here is the cruise stage, actually, that's covered in solar panels. That's the part that's going to be pointed to the sun. There's a little RCS. And there's its Starfinder, which I substituted for a little telescope. See those monopropellant tanks, and I got confused because they're full. So I checked the cheats, and apparently I'd be draining from the 2 on the back right there in that engine. That is not a stock engine. That's a KW Rocketry Pack engine. I love that mod. It's the only way that this huge, huge rocket would have been able to get in. There I am doing the maneuver node. So the KSP, or Kerbal Space Program, has one major problem, and it's that the smallest wheels for building are like the size of a person. Oh yeah, there's a beautiful, I love this mod. I think it's EVE, there you go, shaking it. I think it's environment visual enhancements. I've got a couple, I've got too many. There I am executing that burn to Mars, or Juno, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it Mars. Fly away from Earth there. What was I saying about that? Oh yeah, so the wheels are huge, right? They're the size of a person, like the whole assembly. So maybe it's about the size of a car tire in real life, but the size of the rover is it's like an RC car. So the tires are like 5 times the size of this. So everything was scaled up 5 times. Everything, which was difficult, especially where the 3 bits separate at the end. And actually, I think while I'm doing this maneuver, I will take a moment and show you that video. This is an animation done by NASA. It's found on their website. I don't know if it was actually done by them, but that's where I found it. That's the cruise stage separating. See those 4 little RCS tanks? I tried to make it as real as possible. It enters Martian atmosphere. I love the shape of that. It's so unique. I tried to do as close as possible. So here's where it's going to separate from what I can do. I can do that. Like, KSP can allow me to do that, and that'll happen. Release the chutes, and it comes screaming in like a jet for some reason. So you can also detach the shield. That I can do, but that I cannot, where those strings come down. That's, to my knowledge at least, something you can't do in Kerbal Space Program. And you see that flat top? That's going to act as the sky crane. And this I also cannot do. Poof! It's so ridiculous. I love that design. It's so cool. Just bounce it off the surface. It lets go, and it bounces for a while. It actually bounces for quite a while, so we'll speed that up. And it comes to a stop. It deflates, and 3 panels open. Actually, it's kind of on its side right now, which is genius, because no matter where it is, it's always going to end up upright. So you see how packed in that thing is. It's got its solar panels folded up. It's even got its front 2 wheels folded up. These are some things that you cannot do in Kerbal Space Program, and you can see it unfolding. We're going to speed through this process. It unfolds everything, including the head, which would not have been able to be deployed when it was in its little, I don't know, pyramid stage, I guess you'd call it. So it waits a day, for some reason, unfolds fully the first day, takes a look around, misses home. Oh, I'm sorry, that was too soon. It's kind of cute, actually. Look at that. Look it up. So it looks around, goes back to sleep for a day, and then it rolls off. Does some crazy stuff with its wheels. So yeah, that was the animation. I'll actually show a couple of pictures here. I'm sorry about the low quality. This is the absolute best quality I can find online, but it shows a little bit about the cruise stage. And you'll see that star scanner, that huge camera looking thing. What NASA did was they just had it enter the atmosphere and slow down and then, land. However, I did not want to land on the dark side of Mars because, video reasons. I didn't want it to be boring. So I did a aero brake, and as you just saw there, I could not release that damn heat shield. I mean, I think I have to detach the cruise stage in order for it to work, which makes no sense. And there I am, starting to spin, freaking out, turning on RCS. This is absolutely not how the mission would have gone. I'm a failure, oh god. We're gonna aero brake and hopefully get ourselves into an elliptical orbit, at least, so we can do some adjustments and land on the light side. There we go. Now we just have to make sure we don't come straight back down. That was a beautiful view. Look at that. Bring it down, add the apoapsis on the other side. And now we can finally detach that rocket, and the reason why we didn't detach it earlier is not just because of the aero brake maneuver that I had to do in emergency, but because if I had detached it, it would have thrown off my final course by a few million meters, and I would have been stuck with no way to move because there are no more rockets. And there you go, finally expanding that heat shield. Thank you so much, and I love how snugly it fits over everything. There we go, entering in, nice shot of Ike going over the horizon. Tried to keep it in us for as long as possible. I'm sorry, I cannot get the better camera tools mod to work. I'm sorry. I tried. I was like, this is the video I gotta use it for. I gotta learn it. I'll figure it out someday. We're detaching that fairing in as many pieces as possible because as a clamshell fairing, it exploded. It just detonated, period. So that's about the cleanest I could get it. So we're gonna re-enter the atmosphere, or not re-enter, enter for the first time the atmosphere. There were no fire effects because we were going fairly slow. There's that main chute. I do have 3 drogue chutes, just to slow it down because it's huge. And there goes that heat shield. And in a cruel twist of irony, we happened to land in a dust storm. My God, leave my rover alone. But thank goodness we saw the ground. I mean, the real life Martian dust storms, it's nothing like the Martian the movie. It's not going to blow shit around. It's not going to topple your rocket. It's very, very tame because Mars's atmosphere is 1% ours. So imagine a hurricane at 1% strength would be it would be a breeze, a light breeze dusting you. So we're gonna fast forward time, try and get out of this dust storm so we can, see. Of course, it ends when it's night, and it starts up in the day. I thought I was in a permanent dust storm spot, but there it goes, clearing up. Thank you, random chance. Now we can begin the final stages of this. The sky crane is still attached, of course. I didn't want to jettison that. So we hit control from here on the actual probe, so we wouldn't shoot off with that and leave the probe behind, at least from a viewpoint standpoint. Viewpoint standpoint, huh? Boom! There they go. Hell yeah, we're on Mars. Everybody wake up. So there she is. As close as I could recreate it. And those slanted wheels were crazy difficult to work with. And as you'll see in a few seconds, they start to bounce around and shoot off in all different boing. There we go. Gets stuck on that little lip there. Rolls off, boing. It has these little jitters in its wheels. Again, KSP Rovers are not the best. We'll unfurl those panels. I tried to get as close to the solar panel shape as possible. And we'll run a little science here. We'll collect some dust. I'll try and transfer that, and then boom. That was the sky crane going down and scaring the hell out of me as I'm trying to do science. I'm like, yes, we're finally on the surface. And then I hear a massive explosion. Because this did take me a few tries, and there we go. Scooping with that arm. All these bits and pieces of science that I'm now running are from a mod. I don't think it's better. It's probes. It's an excellent mod. I love it because it had so many cool things. Here you see, I'm actually going to show you these little bits and pieces of the rover. With this picture here, that little black star in the middle is where the boom was actually, or at the top, that little black star, because, you know, it can't take a picture of itself. I tried as hard as possible to get it perfect, and you can see side to side here, the edge solar panels don't quite match the shape, but, you know, I can't make custom items and just import it into KSP. There we are, taking a look at the top. Now we can drive this guy around. We're on Mars. And will be for, you know, the next 15 years. Instead of 90 days. It was originally meant to stay on Mars for 90 days, and instead functioned for 15 years. That's great. That's insane. How can something so far apart in such a hostile environment stay alive for that long? So that was my as accurate as possible recreation of the mission. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you maybe learned a little about the actual mission itself. And we'll miss the opportunity. Maybe one day, when we've settled there, we'll build a little memorial around you. But until then, you did a great job, and we're gonna miss you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles.